Hello everybody, it's Richard Hart here. I just want to let you know that the Pulsechain.com mainnet has launched and PulseX.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome. Woohoo! Okay, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Had 2 days off. I've got a lot of things to do at the moment. It's the reason why I haven't been able to stream every day. But we're back again, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. Pulsechain, what tokens are hot right now? We're going to look at that later in the live stream. We're going to be covering all the markets, of course, all the updates. Everything's looking pretty good, man, I must say, after the halving. So we're going to talk about that. Prices are up, and Pulsechain's moving too. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's see who is in the house here. We've got Lice Beneath. We've got, how are you today? Very good, Lice Beneath. Very good. We've got Hello All, Hex, PLS, Hex incentive for the 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy of this channel. Of course, we're streaming to 3 channels, Pulsechain, X, we're streaming to Superman Crypto, and we're streaming to Hex Token channel, over 10,500 subs. So big shout out to all of you. Very, very excited as well. All right, let's see who else is jumping in here. We're going to go to Sandy Beach. I think Sandy's in the house somewhere. Where's Sandy? Sandy. Day 22. Happy Earth Day, says Sandy. And there is the challenge there for the sit-up challenge. So big shout out to Sandy. Hope she is doing well. Who else has jumped in there? John Gibbons. Any news on a PSD algo? Hey, look, we're just waiting for Jacob updates on that. We know it's there's no real news. We know that the sacrifice is still open, and of course, people can go and use the link in the video description to get a big bonus, 90% bonus on that. I think it's going to be one of the biggest protocols on Pulsechain, legitly, as probably the first algorithmic stablecoin. And yeah, I can't wait for it myself. But no specific news at the moment. The next things that we're expecting for Jacob's ecosystem, obviously, we've got PulsePod running at the moment, doing pretty good. Last time I checked, we've got Pulse Predicts website up, doing all the sports betting, which is going on pretty nicely at the moment. And they've got a token coming out, I think, in June. If you go bet, you can earn the Predict token. And of course, that's going to be launching in June, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, June. And I've got it in my calendar somewhere. And then, of course, we've got TYCC. That's the next full big project after Pulse Predict. So, and that's going to be launching 15th of May, if I remember rightly. So, coming up pretty quickly, actually, TYCC. So, if you sacrifice for TYCC, that's going to be launching soon. Apparently, it's going to be quite the doozy. And, of course, we're going to be looking forward to that with the, I think it's going to be essentially around like a white label DEX, white label order book or centralized markets that people can launch and run themselves. So that's kind of what the idea of that at the moment. And of course, it's probably going to have lots more other things around it as well. So looking forward to that. I think it's going to be super bullish and on the BNB chain in particular. So not Pulsechain so much, but maybe there's some relationship with Pulsechain. We'll see. The other one, of course, is the update for TYRH V4. Looking forward to that potentially, I think, in the by June, something like that. And then, of course, PSD algo sometime possibly next year. This year in the second half, probably towards the end of the year. This depends on how everything flows. He's obviously got to do more influencer coverage and raise. He needs to raise about $1 million, and I think we're up around 400 and something. So still a bit of work to do there. But hey, look, he's if he gets big influencers onto it, then that could definitely get to that target. I think it's a massive project. I can't wait for it, and so I've got my full support behind that one. I think it's huge. But he's got all his DeFi projects are so good. I tend to think this might be the biggest one out of them all. So we'll see how we go. If I get any news, I'll let you know. And of course, Archie is our in-house specialist for Jacob's ecosystem, so you can hit him up on Discord too, see if he's heard anything. And there, I would probably stay tuned in the Telegram though for a lot of Jacob stuff if you're not already. StakeX in the house there. Can I finally talk about how much I love BBC on the family channel? Wink, wink. Yeah, BBC token from 9inch. Yeah, performing pretty well. I looked at it early this morning, 20 cents. That was pretty good, eh? 20 cents on that one. That's performed, what was it, sitting around 2-3 cents, and now it's 20 cents. Pretty good. So things have really turned around for that. And Sandy Beach there with a nice howdy hello to everybody. We got Wookie in the house as well. Wookie is the king of his own throne. Yes, Wookie managed to replace his whole toilet, can't believe it. He's not a plumber by trade, but he managed to take out the old toilet and put in a new one. So huge congrats to Wookie for that. Who's the last time we saw someone around the toilet? That was Richard Hart himself. Was it helping his mum's toilet, fixing that or something? So Wookie's gone next level though with the full replacement. So big shout out to Wookie there. All right, some of the fun things in the Discord, replacing toilets. Let's get into it, folks. We've got a big lineup to go, so let's race through it and see what we've got here. Let me just share my screen and let's go. I'm going to start with the stock market as usual. So let's have a look at that. So stock market day. Actually, should I go for the side shot here? Let's maybe go for that. Where is that? Here, bam. Let's go for that spot. Should we do a little bit different today? And of course, we've got the S&P 500. Last week was red, so red last week. Remember, a real string of red days on the stock market. But today, the S&P 500 has rallied. Remember, we are in earnings season, and of course, the tech strength. Some of the tech stocks did better today, and so we've got big tech earnings out there. And the stock market is really like that. The Dow Jones up 2/3 of a percent. Excuse me, 253 points, which is a pretty nice day there for Dow Jones. 38,239. Now, for most of you who are not familiar with the stock market, perhaps the Dow Jones got the top 30 industrials in it. That's why I always repeat that phrase. Now, the S&P 500 is up almost 0.9%, 43 points to 5,010, so back over the 5,000 mark. That's kind of cool. The NASDAQ with all the tech companies in it, up 1.1%, 170 points almost, and that's at 15,451, so not too bad there. Nice green day to start off the week too. Bullish after the Bitcoin halving, of course, and bullish going forward. So I'm really happy about that. It's pretty good results. Now we're going to jump through the tech results. We're just going straight to the sort of the financial news around interest rates. Well, the yield on the 2-year Treasury briefly topped 5%, adding to recent gains as investors looked ahead to a slew of key data, including manufacturing data, preliminary economic growth data for Q1, and the Fed's PCE price index data, the preferred inflation gauge, of course, compared to CPI, for example. The slew of data come as bets on rate cuts have tumbled. So obviously the rate cuts are getting pushed out further into the year. We went from May, June, July. Now we're sort of creeping in maybe July possibly, but September with just 2 rate cuts now expected as well. Previously, I think we were at 4 rate cuts, 3 rate cuts, and now we're looking maybe 2 rate cuts as well in the year, which is below the Fed's projection for 2 cuts here. I think they meant 3 cuts there. The Fed is widely expected to deliver an unchanged rate decision on May the 1st, but focus will be on the Chairman Jerome Powell's commentary on further clues to the rate outlook. And I think that's going to be really important at this stage to get that new, like a fresh look from Chair Jerome Powell, especially given a lot of the other Fed presidents giving their own opinions and have been kind of hawkish lately, which is not what we really want to see. We expect little to no change in the post FOMC meeting statement, with most of the action all likely to come from the Chair Powell's post meeting press conference. So that was from UBS. So that is kind of the play there. And I think if we go to the tools, we can actually see the current expectation and the date of the next meeting, which we're expecting an absolute no change. So 1 week, 1 day and 17 hours wait until the next Fed meeting on the 1st of May, expecting a no change. You can see the market there, 99.6%, no change there. We're going to jump right past June, go to July. 57% expecting a no change. So even July is getting pushed out, folks. It's not until September now that we got the majority of the market now expecting an interest rate pivot. So it gets keep getting pushed out there. It's getting close to the US election, which is going to be the 5th of November. And of course, we know all the drama that's leading up into that with the lawfare that's going on at the moment. So let's see how we go. That's pretty much it for the stock market. Good day. Green, green, green. Well, what else is green? Bitcoin is green. Up 2.76% after the halving, 66,818. Now, in previous halvings, remember we had to have sort of a mixed result often around the 30 to 60 days after the halving. So we'll see how we get on this time. History rhymes sometimes, but maybe it doesn't repeat either. We do have the Bitcoin ETFs sitting out there too, and a lot of interest in Bitcoin. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on this cycle. Now, Bitcoin dominance there, 52.69%. So that has dropped off a little bit. It was up to 53% the other day, if you remember. But Bitcoin looking pretty good today at 66,827. Ethereum at the moment, 3,200, up 1.5%. And that's looking a bit better off the 3,000 mark. So pretty cool. But Solana standing out there, up 5.4%, $157. What else is looking interesting? XRP up 5.8% at 55 cents. AVAX up there as well. Let's see what else is going good. Pepe, the meme coins, is looks like it's doing the best there, up 15%. 507 there on the old Pepe. What else is looking interesting? Going through some of these. That's pretty much it. CAS, man, still performing. CAS is still performing, up 8.5% there, 12.7% there, but sort of been stuck in that range for a little while. It's still looking good. So let's jump over to the Bitcoin chart and have a quick closer look at that. We're back over 50-day moving average. Woohoo! Got to be pumped about that. 50-day moving average is now at $64,750. So that's getting right up there, folks. Really, really cool. 64,752. Now, obviously, we had the previous high from the previous bull market. What was it, at 69? So, once we get the 50-day moving average above that, man, you really got to start saying 100 to 150K, 100, then 150, 180K is on the table. So it's going to be fun to see that play out for the end of the year. And the 200-day moving average is now at 51,000, so well over 50K as well. So looking pretty cool. And, of course, we just rocketed through the Bitcoin halving now. What else are we going to say about this? Yeah, U.S. election towards the end of the year. Have I even got that on the list here? No, I don't have that on the list, but that's definitely coming. I might add that in. But looking pretty good. And look at that range at the moment. We've got the price there, the low of 64,500 for the day. We've just rolled over the day, right? So 12 minutes ago. So this green candle is the one that pushed us back over that 50-day moving average. A low of 64,500, a high of 67,272. And we're at the top of that range right now. In fact, looking very, very good. All right, so voting well. So not a big sell-off down at the moment of Bitcoin. So stock market good, Bitcoin good, which leads us into, I think, was I going to talk about that yet? Obviously, with the Bitcoin halving the other day, we had a frenzy with the launch of Rune protocols, right? Rune protocol, told you about that on the Bitcoin halving. And yes, $82 million on Saturday was the transaction fees. Absolutely mega. Look at that thing on the Saturday and halving there, absolutely huge. And of course, the fees there, absolutely massive. So fees are in blue, block subsidy. That's the block reward is in the light blue there. But look at the fees on that day, absolutely huge. Millions of dollars going through every single block, and that was due to the Runes protocol kicking off. Really, probably accounting for most of that. And that was a pretty successful launch of the Runes protocol without any bugs or flaws. And of course, lots of tokens. I think it's still sitting in just under 10,000 runes have been etched, what they call etched, or basically created on the Runes protocol. Still under 10,000. So if you want to go etch something, get in there early, because you're getting under 10,000 is always a good number in crypto for any of these protocols. So still go and etch one there. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but let's get back to some of the charts here around the Bitcoin halving. But I thought that was pretty cool. A huge jump there. And of course, with the Bitcoin reward going down, then those fees were pretty glorious for the miners on the old Bitcoin. But we're going to hear from Populiano. So this Populiano video on his thoughts about the Bitcoin, post-Bitcoin halving. So let's hear from him.
A week and a half ago, we were down around 60,000. You get a nice bump back up. 66,000 today, Shonali.
66,000, but still off those highs. Let's take that contrarian view too. Taking a look at Bitcoin climbing following the weekend's halving. Remember, the halving cuts the number of Bitcoin produced daily in half. We're going to discuss that more with Pomp Investments founder Anthony Pompliano. And I think you sit here on a Monday, calm after the storm, and you wonder, did it work? I mean, the halving worked, but did it really create that catalyst for crypto that everyone expected?
Yeah, one of the things that everyone wants to see is like the halving occurs and a minute later, all of a sudden the price goes up or down or sideways, what's going to occur. But what we've seen historically is that the halving does take some time to kind of work in. There was great research that came out of Bitwise, and what they showed was in the month before the halving, the average return over the last couple of bull markets has been 19%. In the month after the halving, it's been 1.7%. So you'd say, oh, if I look at it as a 30-day before, 30-day after, it doesn't really matter. But if you actually look at it over a longer time frame, let's say 12 months, months or 18 months, the halving has marked a point where then we go up. And so it's just classic economics 101, right? If demand stays the same and you take away half of the incoming supply, the price has to adjust up or down to accommodate everyone. I think that this time won't be any different.
You have to wonder how long the halving kind of works as a monetary theory, if you will, in a way to control the supply of Bitcoin. To your point, if demand stays the same, but at what point do you know that demand will continue at the same pace that it has? We've already seen a lot of those flows into the ETFs start to moderate.
Yeah, what's interesting is that Bitcoin actually, the demand in terms of aggregate dollars is actually going up. And so what you would look at is you say, oh, there's lots of people who already own Bitcoin. Who else is going to buy Bitcoin? Well, the biggest pools of capital are still left. And so if you look at some of these large sovereign wealth funds, et cetera, the ETFs introduce a way for them to actually get price exposure without taking control of the Bitcoin. So you can imagine there's certain countries around the world that if all of a sudden they were buying Bitcoin, taking self-custody, people would be asking some questions. Why are you doing that, right? Why are you taking your central bank reserves and getting it out of these other assets that the U.S. likes you to have it in? And so I do think that the ETFs will allow that price exposure. There are sovereign wealths that are going to go ahead and allocate to it. The question is just how much higher will Bitcoin go in this bull market? And that's what everyone's trying to figure out.
There was a lot of talk before we sort of ended up in this new bull market. There was a lot of talk about regulation, right? Of course, you got whatever the SEC was trying to do. And then you had other regulators across the world basically trying to clamp down on this. You don't really hear about that much anymore. I think they kind of feel like, well, we've put out our proposals and, that's the best we can do.
Yeah. So I think that Bitcoin is the first asset that's kind of gotten through the regulatory gauntlet, right? Mm-hmm. And regulators around the world say, hey, this is not a security. This thing is kind of a digital gold, and we're okay with that and going to treat it that way. The other assets very much feel like they're still in the gauntlet, right? Yeah. And constantly there are regulators both in the United States and elsewhere trying to figure out how to classify these things. Mm-hmm. The nice thing about the United States capital markets is that usually the regulators figure it out. It may be tumultuous on the way there, but eventually they will reach some agreement and they'll all treat it the same way. And that'll provide clarity for people to go and start building in this industry in a way that I think is conducive to what we're trying to accomplish in America.
I know some of that regulatory risk has shifted away to Bitcoin, to some of the other digital assets, but there's also been a lot of talk about maybe a potential upswing for some of those assets as well. The idea that they haven't necessarily participated in the rally to the same extent as Bitcoin.
One of the most interesting things that people kind of wake up to coming out of the crypto world is there might be more degens on Wall Street than there are in the crypto world, right? If you say to someone, hey, you can get 10x leverage, if you say that there's 100x opportunity, there's a lot of people in suits and ties that are going to pay attention. Yeah. And so I do think that we like to have a black and white world and say, oh, like all the risk takers over here in crypto, all of the smart money is on Wall Street. But naturally, there are just as many risk takers, if not more, on Wall Street. And so what I think is now going to be a big narrative going over the next 12 months, how do those investors get access to those assets, right? And so you're going to see altcoin ETFs. You're going to see them start to create all kinds of different funds in the private markets, closed end, open end, et cetera, where they are going to try to get at these assets that they believe are asymmetric because they want returns. And there's not that many returns in other asset classes.
Anthony, I know you invest kind of across asset here. Do you think that at this point you would put more money into Bitcoin versus the big tech giants? Or do you start to take some chips off the table in Bitcoin as somebody who's been a traditional crypto investor and invest in normal way markets? I mean, which is a better risk asset to you at this point?
Yeah, there's a really interesting bifurcation that's occurring. If you're optimizing solely for return, I think people will continue to allocate to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because they see it as a more asymmetric asset. It's got a bigger tailwind, more capital flowing in there. One of the things that people are not talking about yet, though, is people in the crypto industry who have built wealth up. When they go to a bank and they want to get a mortgage, they want to get some sort of loan, et cetera, the banks write their crypto assets to zero. And so now all of a sudden, if you show up and let's say you have $10 million of crypto and you have $100,000 in the bank says you're worth $100,000. And so what I do see a lot of people in the crypto world is they're starting to diversify slightly, not a ton, but slightly, because they're trying to actually say, look, I'm going to get married. I'm going to get kids. I'm going to try to buy a house. I got to go kind of live my life. And so I think it's going to be very interesting. The wealth generation in crypto starts to seek into these other asset classes.
And can they do that, though? Can they sort of provide that without actually giving up control or basically giving up ownership?
So this is where we're never going to have a competition, right? Yeah. Obviously, the legacy folks, if you go talk to the banks, their official position is, hey, we don't touch those assets. The younger people in the banks, they want these people to be able to interface with their financial services, et cetera. But right now, you've got to sell the crypto to be able to get fiat or kind of traditional assets put into the bank. Yeah. What I do think is happening, though, is there's people in the crypto world who say, well, why don't we just go offer those same financial services and we'll touch the crypto. You won't have to sell it. And I think that's where the competition is going to be. Will the old incumbents win or will these new players come out on top?
All right, Anthony, great stuff. Anthony Pompliano, Pomp Investments founder.
All right, so I thought that was pretty cool there from Pompliano, and obviously supply cutting back from Bitcoin, and the demand still running in. It's going to be a beautiful run up, folks. Really, And we did look at the previous halvings. You know, you're talking about 550 days or so. It's going to be fun to see the rally. And of course, maybe we'll have next 2 months or two be volatile, but maybe we may not repeat that previous sort of phenomena, and we just go up and to the right. It's going to be fun to see. And obviously, you know, there'll always be pullbacks on the way, but basically the uptrend for the bull market in place. So looking pretty good. Let's see. We've got a couple other people in the house. We got Brennan in the house there. Morning, Superman and family. Good to see you, Brennan. Hope you're doing well there. Another thing I liked that Pompliano said was about the Wall Street and all the DGens on there. That's true. That's true. And the other one was all the innovative financial products that are probably going to start making to access crypto. That's even more funds flowing into crypto. And a lot of people don't think about too much about that, but that is definitely all part of the growth cycle in the next couple of years. It's going to be fun. Good to see Genuine in the house there as well. And Hexavator. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And DG and Hexkin in there. Hey, family. Good to see DG and Hexkin. The Living Man says PLSX, baby. Absolutely. PLSX is one of our top calls, of course, is the golden crypto. We've got Die Hard as well. Just Pump, Pulsechain Pump. Yeah, get into Pulsechain Pump. That's for sure. All right, that's it. He likes asymmetric, so let's go. Let's go. All right, let's get back into it. We're going to bring in the meme pool at the moment on Bitcoin. So you can see we're already 420. 420? Yeah, already 424 blocks past the Bitcoin halving, and the actual cost on Bitcoin is still pretty high, 140 sats per virtual byte there. So yeah, still pretty high there. I mean, so look at the last transaction, and you can see there's $100,000 block there in fees. So still pretty expensive on the old Bitcoin. I'm sure it's going to cool down, but we have got that Runes protocol live. And of course, a big shout out to Casey Rodrimer there, who's the creator of Runes protocol on top of Bitcoin. And of course, that launched at the Bitcoin halving as well at the block 840,000. We can see here there's a couple of markets you can trade on. We're going to talk about that in a minute for Runes, but Luminex is showing the data for the mint outs, and we can see some of the top ones there. You can actually use the sort here to sort the by mint, how they first got etched, what they call etched out or minted out. And we can see uncommon goods there, number 0. And of course, that is from Casey Rodimer there. Then we can see the first 9. The first 9 have kind of got that golden status because that's originally what the founder, Casey, there was going to issue himself. But then he decided to leave it open for the market. And so everyone was racing, all the big teams on Runes protocol racing to mint them out. And we can see that some random one here, who I don't know too much about behind that project, but they got the number 1 rune after uncommon runes. Now, uncommon runes is unlimited, so you can mint it forever, you know, that sort of thing. So that's play there. But all the rest of them have different limits on the amount of tokens that existed. Number 2 was decentralized. So that's a big team, a big gaming team on Ethereum. And of course, that's huge, and they've got a lot of stuff happening there. Definitely one to watch. So if you want to look out for that, you definitely want to watch for that one. So decentralized. Number 3, of course, was Dog Go to the Moon. And this is aiming to be the biggest meme coin in the world is Dog. So it's going to be Dog for short, but Dog Go to the Moon is the etching on the Runes protocol. And that's led by Leonidas, of course, probably just one of the best influencers, leaders in the world. I mean, he really is amazing. So big things expect to happen for Dog. And of course, they're aiming to be number 1 meme coin in the world. So it's going to be a lot of fun for that. And of course, if you know Runestone, you have to have a Runestone and get the airdrop. That snapshot has been taken. But there are 2 more airdrops coming to Runestone. And plus, some of these other tokens are going to be dropped to the Dog as well. So it's going to be to Runestone holders, I should say, as well. So it's going to be game on for that. So a lot of excitement yet to come for Dog, which is going to be airdropped to people's wallets within probably the next 24, 48 hours, depending on the gas fees, right? So there we go. Runex token came in at number 4. Dog came in at number 5. And then Satoshi Nakamoto, which has been trading very well straight out of the gate, that is number 6. And that's been doing pretty well. I think got up to over $8. I think it's around $5 at the moment. So doing pretty well as Satoshi Nakamoto. Also, I think is trading on OKX exchange, I believe. So yeah, that's doing pretty well there. Meme Economics is number 7. Rysik, which is another big team, that is at number 8. And then Lobo, the wolf pup, is at number 9. And of course, Lobo there's going to be airdrop to people who are holding Runestone. So that's another one there. There's 2 of them in the top 9. Pretty cool. Wrap up the top 10 there. So those are the top 9. And number 10 came in Rune Hammer there at the moment. So it was pretty much that. So pretty exciting. And this is a great site here on luminex.io. So luminex.io, if you want to check it out, check it out. There we go. This is Runes. So we're just talking about Runes, which launched at the same time as the Bitcoin halving. And these are some of the sites that you can operate. Now, as far as I know, there's 3 main sites that do trading. Unisat for Runes, and OKX, which is a decentralized, and OKX, which is centralized, and Magic Eden has just launched their decentralized version for market trading of Runes as well. So this is a big exploding market here on Bitcoin, and I think of it a bit like how Ethereum has NFTs and tokens and things like that. This is what it's like having these tokens on top of Bitcoin for the first bull market. So it's going to be fun to see where this whole market goes on Bitcoin, the most valuable chain in the world, of course. So you can see some of the same listing of tokens that we talked about here as well on the Explorer. This is on the Explorer for Unisat under Runes, so Runes Explorer, and this is doing pretty well. You can check that out as well. And you can actually click on these and it will go to a trade button as well. You can buy and sell these on here as well. So I'll post a link to that if you want to check that out. I'm trying to bring the latest and greatest stuff here happening at the moment. So definitely check out a lot of these things. So that's Luminex at the moment. And of course, that is the Unisat market. Now, obviously, OKX is also trading it. You can find, particularly, I think Satoshi Nakamoto is trading on there already. So if you're on OKX, that's something you can do. But the third market is Magic Eden. And Magic Eden has just launched their Runes front end, which is pretty exciting. I just looked at it this morning, and man, it was so cool. So all you have to do is go to Runes, and you can find that. Let me post that as well. It was super early on this, folks, so it's going to be pretty fun to see how it all plays out. And that is the Runes there as well, magiceden.runes. So basically, you can go and select a rune. You can look for a rune that you want to get access to. Here's Satoshi Nakamoto, one of the big trading ones at the moment. Now, obviously, Dog to the Moon is going to be on here soon. And many of those other top 9. So a lot of the top 9 haven't even been launched for trading yet because they're controlled by teams. They're going to drop them to the holders, and then that's going to hit the trading markets, right? So that's still hit. But the Satoshi Nakamoto and a couple others are already in the market. You can already see the price here. Bitcoin Pepe Matrix is sitting here at, what's that, 1,300 a penny. You can see Satoshi Nakamoto at $5.14 at the moment. So I was pretty much right about that. And of course, lots of other ones down below. You have to really hunt the real quality ones, the big teams, the quality projects, you know, all that sort of stuff. The other thing on top of Runes is that you're going to have a big ecosystem. A lot of developers will be building a lot of different games and protocols and DeFi and stuff like that, probably with a lot of these things. So you can already do lending, for example, on ordinals. And so a lot of that sort of stuff will come into the space. So it's going to be a boom time. Just like Pulsechain's a boom time, it's going to be a boom time here on Runestone as well. Let's go look at the Satoshi Nakamoto. You can see some of the sales that are on at the moment. So people are buying and selling these. Now, this is different from AMM pools, right? So you're buying on an order book per se. People offer up their stuff for sale. You can go and buy it. And that's pretty much how it works, right? So you can buy, sell, swap soon. So they're going to have all these features here. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely a new territory for a lot of you. I know many of you may not even be familiar with the previously we had BRC20 tokens, ORC20 tokens, and then we had, of course, ordinals. And this was all the new space last year. Now this year, of course, we got Runes protocol opening up a whole new avenue, and it's all streamlined tech. So very, very cool. And so yeah, running on the Bitcoin blockchain, of course. So that is pretty exciting on that one. So check some of those things out. It's a bit of an education, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It is a good place to be in crypto at the front of the innovation. So there it is on Magic Eden. All right, we're going to move past that, go to Ethereum. So that's a quick coverage of Runes protocol for some of you that may have heard the terms, don't know what is happening. That is a bit of an overview of that. Now, we're going to get over to Ethereum at the moment, $3,207. We can see that yesterday we had a low of 3,129, a high of 3,237 on Ethereum. We're still below the 50-day moving average, though, which is at $3,277, but well above the 200 moving average, which is at 2,732. So there we are at the moment, trying to get back over there, just like Bitcoin. I'm sure we will. And that's where we're leading at the moment. Now we've got the Ethereum, ETFs is the next big event, and that's coming up. But we're not expecting an approval there. So at the moment, we're not expecting approval, and that is 30 days away. So up to 25% chance of approval. But yeah, I wouldn't get too excited about that at this stage. So there we go. The other thing, of course, we had some big news around crypto. This is possibly good for the Richard Hart versus SEC case. Possibly. I mean, how it gets angled in there by Richard's lawyers, we will see. But at the moment, multiple SEC lawyers resigned after a federal judge sanctioned the agency for false claims and abuse of power in a crypto case. So that may have rippling effects onto other cases that the SEC is doing, depending on what the points of law are there. But that's a pretty dramatic event. I'm sure we can all agree on that. So pretty big deal there. Now, one thing that is in here, Elon Musk even responded to that. Wow, you guys, that was 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago. Wow. So we'll see how that flows into the Richard Hart case versus the SEC. And as you guys know, I think there's lots of good points from my point of view that can be argued for that. So we'll see how we get on with that one. So that leads us into Pulsechain, of course. We're going to talk about day 346 results and what's hot, what tokens are hot right now on Pulsechain. Before we do that, let's see if anyone else has got any comments in the chat. We got Archie and Halsey. Hey, Archie, good to see you. Hi, all. Good to see you, Archie. Hope you're doing well. And who else there? Yoden as well. Cheers. Thanks for always being positive. Future is bright, says Yoden. Absolutely, man. I am very excited about the crypto market and where we're getting, both crypto generally and, of course, Pulsechain specifically. It's going to be a very, very exciting place to be. We even get some nice green moves today. Wookie says magic. Wookie is magic. You are. And Wookie knows how to use Magic Eden. He's been doing stuff on there too. All right. If you want to get into that sort of stuff, get into our Discord. The link to that is in the video description. We have a strategy club, and you get in on that $30 a month. Pretty good value. We're looking at all the greatest things on the chain, so definitely get into that. Lots of great projects and big upsides there. As well as if you want to get into the general membership on Discord, links in the video description as well. It's $5 a month, 16 cents a day. Getting there, folks, on that one. All right, if you want to get on to a lot of the great things. All right, let's get back into it. So the results for day 346 on Pulsechain in the last month of the before 1 year is counting up there. How far away for the 1 year? Well, look, let's go to the countdown. We've got a new countdown. Woohoo! There's a countdown. 20 days to go. 20 days, well, 19 days, 23 hours, and 27 minutes to be precise, until 1 year for Pulsechain. So a cool little countdown here on gopulse.com. And yeah, we've got 20 days to go. Yeah, let's go. All right, so let's get into the results though for today, day 346. We've got Pulsechain at quadruple 079, up 2.129%. And that is still at a 21 percentage points difference there. We're at 0.79, so 21 to go. We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 033, up 4.2%. Now that's still well below the sacrifice price there, sacrifice price. So a long way to go there. And of course, the buy and burn is at 820.3 billion Pulsex is being bought and burned, part of the superior tokenomics of the Pulsex Pulsechain setup there. 4.03% of the public supply has now been destroyed. Yay for that. And of course, on top of that, we also have the Power City Earn protocol that's taken hundreds of billions of Pulsex off the market as well. Incentive token at the moment up 3.59% at $4.80, $4.08. But the positive thing here is that the ratio is still over 50,000, 51,819, I think it is, or 619 is the ratio. And buy and burn, no, the supply, I should say, is at 29.8 billion. No, it's not billion, it's millions there. I'm getting used to my billions. We've got 29.8 million incentive tokens in existence, and they are emitted for the Pulsex farm as well. P-Hex at the moment, or Hex on Pulsechain, is sitting at 9800th of a penny, almost a 1 cent, up 10%. So Hex is the winner today. And of course, this is the Hex that Richard regards as the main Hex now, right? So that's his narrative, and he is the founder of these things, I guess. And so that is it. And we've got EHEX at the moment is at 1800th of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PX is at 1.17 cents. So we're well above a penny, which is kind of cool. Obviously, we were waiting until we get to that 3 cent breakout level, man. That is the play. Now, we're just above the accumulation zone. Still accumulate, but that under penny, over a penny is pretty key, and doing pretty well there. So that's day 346. Let's go to the charts, have a quick look at them. We've got the RSI still pretty chill on Pulsechain, down at 37. So that's got, once you're down in this area, you're sort of in the oversold territory. So we're waiting for a sort of a bounce from there on the daily, and you can see the chart there still holding this long term. Remember, this is let's go full chart mode. Let's go full crazy. Never go full crazy mode. But you can see Pulsechain just bouncing up along this nice support line. This is a support line that Richard adds on his charts which is very indicative, right? Very indicative. And so there we are, doing pretty well at the moment. And we've got the Pulsechain party coming up there, 1 year party. Look at that, getting closer and closer and closer, only 20 days away to that. So very, very fun there. What else are we going to say about this? What else? Is that it? Shall we have a look at the weekly? Let's do it. Let's look at the weekly because it's always fun. Weekly, heaps of room to move on the weekly. 41 on the weekly there for the RSI. Look at that. Yeah, let's do it. We've had plenty of red days. We've got our first green week in play. Out of all these red weeks, we've got our first green week in play there. Good sign there of higher things. We do have higher lows, of course. So not too bad there on Pulsechain. Pulsex, similar story. The RSI is starting to rise a bit faster there, 42. So Pulse might be down at 37, but we're at 42 here on Pulsex. Pulsex is amazing, I think. Certainly undervalued in my opinion. And of course, once again, do your own financial research, all that good stuff. But here we are on the daily, up and away, well off this angled support line. And of course, pretty much what are we at? Over the SEC price here back on the 31st of July. So it's looking pretty good. Is the old Pulsex there? Can't say too much. A lot of upside to the main sacrifice price as well. So it's got to be good, right? Which is back up here, right? This candle, we have hit it there, and we're going to hit it again. You watch. Obviously, not guaranteed because we don't guarantee things here, but we're playing probability. All right, so incentive token at the moment. Let's have a look at the ratio. $4.08 in the ratio, looking real strong on here. This is looking good, folks, and yeah, holding pretty well. I think we held the 45,000 mark, and or over 50,000 again. Pretty bullish for me from the old incentive token there, and potentially lots of upside for this one. PHEX at the moment on the daily. Yeah, like I say, we're just about at 1 cent actually, so we're still rising. So here in the RSI, pretty chill at 50. So we've got pretty good time to move apart there. And you can see the orange line here is the accumulation side. So we're about to hit that or touch that. Hopefully we'll break through. We've got plenty of room in the RSI to break through. So keep a lookout for that. Woohoo! A lot of upside for PX. EHEX there is 1,800 penny. A lot of upside there before we get to the BankX wall. So there's lots of gains to be had on there too. So the RSI is picking up as well. So not too bad. Lots of room for growth there. EHEX PHEX chart here. As you guys know, we've come off the bottom. We got all the way down to 86 hundredths of a penny. Our low is 63 hundredths of a penny. The combined price of EX PX, and of course we want to get over the 3 cent mark, which is back up here. Once we do, it's going to be game on, and people are going to go, oh, boo-hoo-hoo. I sold my Hex, man. You remember that video? I love that video. I sold my Hex, man. I probably still got that video, but let's go have a look for it some other time. That is pretty much it on the old PHEX. Let's have a look at the gas prices quickly. Gas prices at the moment, 337,000 beats, pretty cheap, about 50% more than normal. And 1 cent for a Pulsecoin transfer, 600th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, 2/10 of a penny for a PRC transfer. Mike Gwei on Ethereum, no, really cheap on Ethereum at the moment. 6 Gwei, can you believe it? I cannot believe that. And we're at 720x cheaper than Ethereum. That's crazy. So it might be 1 cent for a Pulsex swap, but it's up to $6.87 for a Uniswap transfer. And that's despite the fact that Ethereum is super cheap at the moment. That's hilarious. All right, let's go to the validators and have a look at that. We've got 48,973 validators, 1.57 trillion off the market of Pulse. And of course, we've got liquid loans in addition to that, right? Let's have a look at the bridge, do the health check with the bridge, 118.3 million, sitting pretty similar the last couple of days. Not really a big movement there since I did my live stream 3 days ago. So not a lot of change there. That means we'll probably look at the lock coins there. And on Pulsechain, we've still got, validators 1.57 trillion and liquid loans at 865 billion Pulse off the market. So those are the two main ones there, taking a Pulse off the market there. All right, that is it. We're obviously going to be starting a new day, day 347, just flicked over just as we came back. So there we are, 347. We've just started that and heading towards 365, right? 20 days to go. So not bad. All right. Let's get into some of the other charts here. We've got the derivatives at the moment are doing amazing here for the Alex McFurder's derivatives here. Icosa is up 11% on Pulsechain. Hedron is up 47% on Ethereum. Hedron is up 9% on Pulsechain, and Icosa is up 60% on Ethereum. So Ethereum having a great day with the returns. You can see those two is doing really well there, up big time on Ethereum. So nice little moves there. Let's go to the influencer coins. Influencer coins at the moment. Let's have a look at the best return. We've got SolidX is up 34% there, $106. So So it's back over $100 is the old Solid X. So that's doing pretty well. You can see looking pretty good there, and a bit of room to move with the RSI as well. Not too bad. And note token from Randy Alaski is up 19%. Nice little power move there from Randy. That chart's looking hot. Look at that volume coming too the other day. And here we are at almost 6 cents of a penny. This thing's going up to chase that 1 cent, isn't it? It is. It's going to try and chase it. Assuming Bitcoin and that keep that nice upward flow. It looks like no token is up and to the right there. So big shout out to Randy and his crew. We've got Fire there from Crispy Man. That is up 18%. So another influencer. Access Alive is up 15% to 35,800. And Poor Pleb Hexy Bastard's up 15% there. Ben Armstrong up 13%. Now, Ben Armstrong has definitely been doing some coverage of Pulsechain and Hex. Nice to see that as a big influence out there. So it's kind of cool. Trayvon's More Token up 6.7%. My Life is Awesome. He needs to do a bit of work, but this was pumping the other day, just down today 14%. So that is 420. That is where that is at. Let's look at the stables as well. Stable coins, which have been the narrative of course, PDI. That is up 13% at the moment at 7/10 of a penny. Let's have a quick look at PDI because that is on the upside. Look at that uptrend, man. You can't deny it. You can't deny this uptrend. And of course, many of the people out there that are into the maker theory, of course, that is ticking up and up and up at the moment. So yeah, 7/10 of a penny. This thing's going to try and get that 1 cent for goodness sake. Of course, this is on the weekly chart. 4 weeks ago, it tried to do it. It went to 91/100th of a penny. But this week, of course, it's at 7/10 of a penny. But it is going to really try and do that. I mean, the chart sort of speaks for itself. The chances way to the probability to the upside. So keep a lookout on that one. And USDC and USD Tether will follow shortly after, right? They're pretty much at 43 and 41/100th of a penny. So they're just, if you want to get entry into that theme, those are kind of ones you could consider. Otherwise, the stable coins there, Coast is back up, was down pretty low at 78 cents, still well below peg. We're waiting for Coast to get back online. PXDC there is at basically $1, so it's pretty good for the Power City protocol. And USDL sitting at 99 cents, so just below peg there on USDL as well. So those are kind of the leaders there. Let's have a look here. We're going to go to top PRC 20s now. I've only got Wrap Bitcoin in a moment, so I need to add everything else, as you guys know. But Wrap Bitcoin holding up pretty strong, $285. Remember, was it a week ago or so? Richard posted about PDI and about Wrap Bitcoin. Well, you know, the Wrap Bitcoin's actually holding up pretty well. PDI came back quite a bit with profit selling, but is back on the upside as we just looked at 7/10 of a penny. But Wrap Bitcoin at 285 at the moment, holding up pretty strongly. There, nice little move on that one. All right, now I just want to look at PZen on Pulsechain. So PZen on Pulsechain is looking hot, 17 cents here. And PDXN. PHDXN's looking pretty good too, but we're going to look at PZen at the moment. Yeah, so PDXN is up 23%. Now, if you don't know what's happening in this space, get into our strategy club. We can tell you all about that. But basically, just as a summary, X1 is coming. That's the Jack Levin chain. It's going to be super amazing. The other thing that's coming is, of course, Razvan from DXN is doing 2 new protocols coming up, about to launch. And that's going to be pretty fun. So instead of it's going to be NXD is about to launch on the 28th of this month, and then of course followed by Q protocol with AI and AI features in it. That's going to be launching after that, probably in June. So some pretty big things coming. In May, I should say, for Q. So some pretty big things coming for DXN, and of course that flows in on top of Zen, and of course Zen with the X1 chain is getting closer and closer. So that's getting bullish too. So PZen at the moment, following through on that, is definitely one of the hotter Zen mints to mint out. Pulsechain is easily one of the top 3 chains in my view for Zen. Obviously Ethereum number 1. But look at this chart, looking pretty good here on the hour. Let's go to the daily and have a look at this chart. We already had some people sort of preempt that move. It's come back down, but it looks like it's going to kind of zigzag its way back as we're getting closer and closer to Zen there. So looking pretty good, folks. If you want to find out more, get into our Discord strategy club. Link is in the video description and become part of the community. So that's kind of looking pretty good there. You can see Zen itself is up 7% on Ethereum, started to rise from the bottom. Once again, jump into our Discord and you can find out more in the strategy club. All right, let's go over to the rest of the Pulsechain. We're going to have a look at the overall numbers. and some of the leaders at the moment. So we've got 27.8 million in volume today. So it's quite low, actually. We were getting much higher, 40, 50 million the other day. So 27.8, but we are at the beginning of the week. So we'll keep a lookout on that as we flow through the weekdays. And of course, it is still, just come off Sunday. So it's only Monday there in the US. Now, we've had 285,000 transactions on Pulsechain in the last 24 hours. Let's jump into some of the leaders here. We're going to look by percentages. Now, so obviously none of this is financial advice because some of these are quite speculative. They just get launched. Every day we get some new tokens launched. So you just got to be careful out there. We've got Pro there. Profit is up 455%. So that's kind of ticking away there. The BBC token. Now, someone had mentioned this earlier in the chat there. That is looking really good. But 84% to 24 cents there. So if you are mining on 9-inch, you can see 9-inch up at the top there. Then you're going to be earning a way bigger amount of incentive reward at the moment. Looking pretty good, up 84% there. So doing pretty well is the old BBC. In fact, let's have a quick look at liquidity pool. There we go into 9-inch BBC. And look at that. So real nice there. And power move up to the right there. So really bottomed out at 2.33 cents. I said this earlier. And doing pretty nicely now. Back at 24 cents. Very cool. This is performing pretty well now. Back on track. They've been launching a lot of things and doing a lot of good stuff there. Not only for 9-inch, but Pulsechain lately. So that's been pretty good. All right, what else we got there? P-Drip is at $3.17. Pulse Drip there. We've got Solid X, as we said, is doing pretty well, up 35%. 9-inch is following up a BBC token, 33% there at the moment. So that's not doing too bad at all. What are we going there? What else? Actually, let's have a quick look at 9-inch while we're here. We're just going to look at this one here, this pool. And that is where 9-inch is going at the moment. So it's getting pretty good. I'm just trying to remember what the break-even price was. I think it was still up here. You guys can let me remind me, but I think it was still, I kind of have a memory that was around here, the break-even from Sacrifice. But then you got Ethereum side as well, I see. But that's definitely going up. So looking pretty good there. There's the old 9-inch. So BBC 9-inch are doing very well out of the utilities. Often we have so many meme coins ruling the roost lately that, the utilities have been a bit shunned. But nice to see one of the DEX is doing well there. What else is doing there? Florida Fruit Rat up 30% there at the moment. Die Hard. Now, obviously, Die Hard, you earn PDI, right? So through all the trading, there's a bit of a tax on it. You earn PDI. So that is ticking up there at the moment. What do we got there? Intel there. Buy and sell tax, 10%. So there's 10% there. And, of course, that uses to reward PDI to everybody. I think we had someone from PDI in the chat there, so that was cool. What else is doing pretty well there? Turtle X, this looks new, up 28%. So let's have a quick look at Turtle X. Let's see there. Yeah, that's only a couple of days old, so they're doing pretty well. Had a big pump yesterday. This only just finished. The candle just finished yesterday. Let's go to the hourly on this Turtle X. You had a big pump here. Remember, these are very volatile, so yeah, you got to be nice and early for these, and you also got to make sure they're safe. Dick Screen, it does kind of have a quick intel. Says that it is renounced, but you always have to double check that it is renounced, things like that. So, but other than that, it's a kind of cool little check there. They do have a website. Let's have a quick look at the website here, Turtle X, and just see. This is just random. I haven't looked at this. Website is going under maintenance here. That's not a good sign, right? So it's a dead end website there. Not a good sign generally, but the rest of it says it's okay. So yeah, there we go. Another one there. Be careful out there, folks. Be careful. What else there? Fugazi is up 22%. Icarus is up 21%. Now, Icarus only launched about a couple of weeks ago, didn't it? It's up 21% there. Let's have a look at that. And let's go to the daily. That is Icarus. Actually, Icarus holding up pretty well, isn't it? $4.50. Doing not too bad at the moment. And, of course, they do have a website, I think. So let's quickly check out that. The coin for dreamers by dreamers. They're going to have staking in the future in the marketplace, apparently. But once again, not endorsing this at all. You do have to, read all the tokenomics and everything else yourself. But that is Icarus ticking up there. Not too bad, actually, after only launching recently. No token, of course, we talked about that. Fire as well. So a lot of influencer coins there still leading the pack there at the moment. A lot of things are up over 10% today. Access Live, of course, we talked about Teddy Bear up 14%. Cheating up. Cheating only launched a little while ago too. That's up 14% there. DWB, of course, earlier than that, up 13% there. So some nice little leaderboards above 10. We've got Hex, of course, is up 10.5%. We talked about that, almost back at 1 penny. And Hex Orange Address is just under 10% there. PDC, the Grays, is up 10.5%. So You're getting maybe a couple of DAO tokens there, PTC, GC, a DAO tax token. You're getting quite a few meme coins, of course. And, of course, influencer coins seem to be the theme of the day. And with the standout utility being 9-inch today. That's kind of the main things of what is hot on the old Pulsechain at the moment. All right. And this, of course, this Pro token is the top leaderboard at the moment. And, of course, how long did it launch? Just a little while ago, but it's doing okay at the moment. Once again, see if what checks it's got on there. No issues on the checks. Honeypot, no. Renounced unknown. So, interact as be careful when you interact with any new ones at launch. All right, so that is pretty much it for the moment on the old Pulsechain. 50 minutes into the live. I think we'll probably wrap it up there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's see who else there. That is Okoza, says Wookie. Yeah, Okoza doing pretty well. We're still waiting for Okoza Hedron V2. Of course, Alex might be changing a lot of things there based on Richard's comments about EHEX and stuff. So we'll see where he leads with that. Trev says, watching from Dominican Republic. Great work, Suitman. BBC and 9-inch are doing great too. Yeah, good to hear, right? And a lot of you guys may have participated in that either through sacrifice or during its trading. That's right, says Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard is here, earning its nice P-die there from the trading. All right, that's pretty much it. That's what's hot. I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream, and I will catch you again probably tomorrow. And see you then. Don't forget, trade well and invest super smart. And of course, have a good time. Now, get into the Discord, folks. The link's in the video description. General membership, $5 a month, and of course, 16 cents a day for all the best information, best community. Get in there, folks, on Pulsechain Hex. Now, if you want to get that next level strategy club, join up with the link in the video description as well. That's $30 a month, but a really great value. And of course, we're going to be covering lots of cool projects on there as well. Multi-chain. P-die to $1, says Sandy Beach. It's 1 cent at the moment is definitely where it looks like it's trying to get to. Thank you, says Sandy. You're most welcome. HH got the clap on. Nice one, HH. Appreciate that. Take care, all, says Lies Beneath. And thank you there from HH. Big shout out. All right, take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. See you in Discord. Let's play a cool video out on the way out. And what should we play? What do we got here? Let's play Sandy's favorite. This one here, the old Hex one. All right, peace out, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I'll tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. We about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.